test for IELTS. In the speaking test, we will have 3 parts: part 1, part 2, and part 3. And to start part 1, I will have some questions about yourself. Can you introduce about yourself?
Yes, I'm Trần Đình Minh Quân from Nguyễn Khuyến High School. I'm currently studying in grade 12, and I'm looking forward to getting good results during this test.
Okay, great to see you, Quân. And there are some questions for you, and I will ask you, and you will answer me step by step. We have 4 questions for part 1. Okay, number 1. And the topic for today is paying bills. Question 1. What kinds of bills do you have to pay?
Well, I'm currently studying and having no part-time jobs or full-time jobs. As a result, I am not in charge of any particular types of bills.
Okay, the second question. How do you usually pay your bills? In cash or by another method, and why?
Well, if I were to pay any types of bills, I would confidently say it should be from online banking. Like, cash, it seems to be very outdated nowadays, and it can be lost very easily. I think online banking is not only a good alternative, but I think it's a better way to approach modern life banking.
Okay. And the next question. Have you ever forgotten to pay a bill? Why or why not?
Yes, I have once forgotten to pay a bill. It was when I was in Hanoi only about 2 weeks ago. And when I got into an eatery, I finished my meal and I stood up and got out. But then I was, pulled back by a charger, and he told me that I had to pay the bill. I was flabbergasted, but I realized I did not pay him.
Okay. And the last question. Is there anything you could do to make your bills cheaper? Why or why not?
Nowadays, as we can see, have a lot of databases as well as online markets where you can buy a lot of good things at very fine qualities. Then I can recommend Shopee or Lazada, where they offer a lot of discounts and many things like that, and also offers and special hours and special days, so that you can reduce the price and have good things.
Okay, correct. Okay, and next we move to part 2. In part 2, we will have a topic, and the topic for you today is describe some food or drink that you learned to prepare. And there are some tips for you, and you can use the tips we give you, and you have 1 minute to prepare for the speech. Okay, 1 minute starts.
Alright, so I think this could sound like a real cliche, but honestly, I was very into eggs when I was really small. I found I had a special affinity for eggs. And then one day when I was left home alone by my parents, after observing them and after watching YouTube tutorials, I finally found out how to make omelet. Oh, and nowadays I still stick to it, and I really like it. So I actually learned only by looking and copying and imitating, and I did not even have anyone to instruct me at that time. I had to go and search it on YouTube. Nowadays, I still love it. It's really nutritious. It's also quick to prepare, and moreover, eggs are actually very cheap, and unlike prohibitive other items or other foods that we need to buy at a very high price. I pretty much love it, and after all my experiences, I jumped to the conclusion that with omelet and with the recipes that I had learned, this could help me to survive in the very rampant and hectic lifestyle of a university student, a scholar in the future. And that's all about it.
rưỡi. Thật ra tầm 1 phút rưỡi thì đi là ok rồi. Mình có 2 phút để nói mà, đúng không? Okay, now we move to part 3. In part 3, we will have more questions about the topic that you have in part 2, and there are some questions for you. We will discuss about young people and cooking. Number 1, what kinds of things can children learn to cook?
There are many, I mean, like various, and even a surplus of things that children can learn to cook. Like they can learn to, try to make some good eggs into something eatable, or they can try to transform orange into orange juice. And based on those, I conclude that we should let them exposed to food making as soon as possible, especially some safe recipes.
Okay, very nice. And the second question for you. Do you think it is important for children to learn to cook?
Yes, I think learning to cook from a young age is very crucial to our lives. Like when you have to go out and you have to strive for life and you do not know how to cook, then it will probably get you to a stage of being starved. And then when you do not know what to do, you have to spend a lot of money or either only try to starve yourself to death.
Okay. And the last question for you. Do you think young people should learn to cook at home or at a school?
I think they should learn to cook at home. This is based on culture. Like when we go to school, we cannot know how our family members are going to taste our food. And in a family we have familial culture and how to have special recipes on food. So we should learn how to cook at home to satisfy the scent as well as the the preferences of our family members.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that is all for the test for today, and hope you